That was it.
The podcast that changes your mind by listening to inspiring people.
I'm Marion, and I'm bringing you to the Drikung Kagyu Rinchenling monastery in Kathmandu, Nepal. From October to December 2024, over 1,500 monks, nuns and practitioners from all over the world gathered for something extraordinary. His Holiness Chetsang Rinpoche shared the Dam Ngak Dzo teachings, the treasure of precious instruction over 1,000 years old. But this is not just about ancient wisdom, this is about modern transformation. Today, I'm delighted to introduce you to Sara, the Spanish engineer who works in New York and teaches meditation at Rikers Island, bringing mindfulness to prisoners in jail. Let's discover her "that was it" moment. Hello, Sara. We're in Nepal, in Kathmandu, and we met a few days ago. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me who you are?
Hi Marion, hi everyone. So I'm Sara, I'm Spanish, I'm 37 years old. I currently live and work in New York City. And I'm doing this amazing and beautiful retreat in Kathmandu where I met Marion.
And before being in Kathmandu, what did you study?
So I'm originally an engineer, a civil engineer. I always wanted to work and see the world, and that career brought me to work all over the world, basically. I did projects in Asia, in Africa. I lived for 7 years in Mexico. And now for the last 4 years, I've been working as an innovation director in New York City.
And you told me that in Mexico, you had like revelation or something happened to you and you decided to change your life.
Yes. I always think Mexico as my second rebirth in a way, because I was, before going to Mexico, I was very career focused, very ambitious, growing. That led me many beautiful, good things. But then I had a near-death experience while I was there, and I realized how I needed to change my life. And in a nutshell, I realized how by being so focused on myself, I had actually forgotten to give to others, right? And how despite my life looked like a success and I had achieved many of the things that I had myself set up for, when I thought that I was gonna die, I was certain that my life had been a waste because I had been focusing mostly on myself and not giving what I had received, all the gifts that I received, like not giving to others. So from there I started to change my life, and it eventually led me here.
So how did you change your life? Who did you meet?
So, I mean, of course, like I just explained as if it had been like just one moment, but I believe that it was just like a tipping point of like many reflections and insatisfactions that had been building on myself, and the same that happened afterwards. Like from one moment to another, I decided that I needed to change my life, but it took me a while, right? It was a gradual process. First, I started going to therapy. Then I started doing meditation. In the beginning, I had like no interest whatsoever in spirituality. I just wanted to clear my mind or understand my mind. But then from meditation, I got like to Zen Buddhism, and after that, I spent some time in Arizona in a retreat center with His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche. And as they say, the rest is history. When I saw him, was around him, saw the peace and love that he emanated, I just thought, okay, I want this to myself, and I'm gonna make his my path too.
So you're still working as an engineer, and you are practicing Buddhism. You're still following Garchen Rinpoche.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm actually still working, and like in intensive retreats that the one we're having, I feel like as if in a day I have two lives, because like in the morning I'm doing retreat, and for time difference, like at night I'm working. I have the immense fortune to have a remote job that like helps me do this. But yeah, I remember a couple of years ago when I was around not only Garchen Rinpoche, but like many of the Tibetan lamas. And as I said, I really saw something in them that I wanted to cultivate in myself. And then I made this commitment to myself to make this path my priority, my utmost priority. But then, of course, you know, I need to pay the bills. I need to still be in the world. I enjoy working and enjoy my career. But making it my priority, it helped me articulate like a lifestyle in which like I still work. Of course, I still travel to see my family, etc. But like everything is done in a way that it can help me like better pursue this path, which at the end of the day, it's a path of working with my own mind in order to better serve others.
So that is the main point, working with your mind. And what you learned during the retreat, how do you use it for your civil life?
Wow, I would say it's what we're getting in this retreat. It's so profound learning that it's difficult to put it into words, right? Because like at the end, any word would not make justice to the learnings. But I'll try nevertheless. And I think one of the biggest takeaways that I'm taking normally in the past, I would just see retreat time as a time like separate from my daily life. So I would like be saving holidays and then go in retreat. And then during the retreat, I would like feel like a lot of calm or learnings, but then I would go back to my normal life, and probably because of this separation that was happening in my head, like I remember days after retreat thinking, oh, I'm stressed again, I need another retreat. So now, like having actually retreat and work time at the same time, in the same day, it's exhausting, definitely. But it also has helped me to stop putting my job or my personal life as an excuse of like, okay, I will do serious practice afterwards. I'm like really exploring how if one has really a priority of like, okay, I want to practice, you can just make it work. And also it has been very, very interesting to get this retreat energy of peace or of inner transformation, etc. Get it like into work calls or job calls, because at the end that's also the practice, right? Like to not this transformation, as I say, happens in the temple, but like we should carry it forward. So I guess that's what I'm exploring, how retreat mind can actually be anywhere. We don't need to be in the temple or surrounded by the teachers.
A few months ago, you were in New York. You heard about this retreat with His Holiness Chetsang Rinpoche. Why did you choose to come?
Well, as with many things in Dharma, I don't know if it was a rational choice. At some point, I guess it was, but like it's interesting also, and that's something that happened, that I saw happen when I prioritized this in my life, that it feels like circumstances always end up driving me to the right places. But to answer the question, I'm also part of my commitment to Dharma. I volunteer with a Lama from the lineage, with Lama Dorje. So last month I was with him in India. We organized a pilgrimage in Ladakh. And then he was coming to this retreat in Nepal, and things aligned. I had nothing planned in New York in November, and I just casually decided that I would come. And this is surprising because like right now I'm realizing that this retreat is one of the most powerful things that I've ever done. But I came here without actually knowing like what I was going to encounter, which is also, if you allow me, like another of the lessons that I'm getting, like, which is like to be open to sometimes the uncertainty, or maybe not planning, just like letting myself being guided by the intention and the priority, and then somehow circumstances arise.
What would you give as an advice to people who can be sad or have a lot of anger, lost their job, lost their husband or wife or whatever, because life is difficult?
Yeah.
And you know it, I know it. What could you say to them?
I guess maybe one of the biggest insights for me that I still keep on reflecting on every day, right? It's like how all the causes for suffering and happiness are inside ourselves. And this might be difficult to believe, but if we actually contemplate it, it's very liberating. It's very liberating because like we sometimes like it can be an easy solution to think that the world, our boss, our husband, etc., has like the responsibility for some of our problems, but to actually realize that we are the ones that can change it, it's very empowering. To me, that's the true meaning of the word empowerment. And also, to me, what brought me here, I was not particularly unhappy before, like bringing my arriving to my path, but I definitely have what, like in Buddhism, they would call like the pervasive condition suffering, right? Like there's a suffering that it's there, it's always there. So even though you get the job, you get the girl, you get the money, I had all that, and yet like I felt like my life was a waste. So it's really happiness and suffering is something that like we have to work within.
So I would like now that we can speak about connection. Mm-hmm. So before Nepal, you have been to Ladakh. Mm-hmm. You travel in Ladakh, and who did you meet in Ladakh in Lamayuru?
Well, in Ladakh, and especially in Lamayuru, we met many amazing and dedicated practitioners. One of them is Thupten, who turns out, or I found out recently, that is a long-time student of Khenpo Tashi. And that was, again, one of these happy coincidence or connections, I would say, that I was showing to Marion my pictures in Ladakh, and then she spotted him, and it's again an interesting connection there with him. Like we shared a very especially powerful moment. We did, it was the closing of our pilgrimage, so we were like in the top of this mountain, Lamayuru. You know, it's this kind of remote place with this 1,000-year-old monastery that has non-interruptedly have people there practicing. So it really has a powerful, beautiful energy of practice. And on the top of the mountain, we did a fire ceremony, and Thupten was there assisting us. So, and now here I have the immense fortune to meet his teacher, Khenpo Tashi. So
yeah, because it was funny when you showed me the picture. I said, "Oh, I know this one." So we had one connection in common. So I proposed you to meet Khenpo Tashi Rinpoche, and what we did after the teaching, and we shared yesterday coffee with him.
Yes.
So and there you met Khenpo Tashi Rinpoche, this High Lama, and also you met Palden, Lama Palden, who is a friend of Lama Thupten.
Yes, and every time that I meet these great yogis of our lineage, great practitioners, I always reflect on how, of course, they all have different ways, different personalities even, but they all share like a spark of happiness in their eyes. Like they're happy people, you know. That's one of the things that drew me to this path. Like when you are like with Tibetan lamas, and especially with the practitioners, with those that have spent years practicing for the sake of all beings, as I said, something that they all share is an immense sense of presence, something that I felt yesterday, like with Kempola and with Palden, and combined with also like a joyful happiness, and it's an irresistible combination, right? Like that spark in the eyes is one of the main reasons of saying, okay, these guys know something that I don't know, but I'm interested in finding out what it is.
So it's very inspiring.
It's incredibly inspiring, but in a way that like no words or concepts, and words are important, right? That's why we follow teachings, that's why we study, but that again, something that I feel is particularly powerful of Tibetan Buddhism in this time nowadays in which there are many teachings, many traditions, many lineages, but Tibetan Buddhism puts the focus on the embodiment of the teachings, right? Like teachings are not only something that is written in books or that it's like said in words, but mainly something that the teacher needs to have realized. And that's actually like what's extremely inspiring, that like when you look at their eyes, you actually like have no doubt. You say like, yes, he's actually realized that he's living by that playbook. Yeah.
What do you say to your friends who see you and know you for many, many years, and you are evolving, you are changing, and you are happier, you are more generous, and what they say, and what do you tell them?
So I remember in the beginning, because yesterday I shared a little bit of my story, and just to add a bit more context to that, when I realized that I wanted to change my life, I tried many ways, I tried many paths. Tibetan Buddhism was not the first. And by many paths, I also mean like running marathons and doing triathlons and even doing a parachuting course. Like I was really seeking, like the like an intense like meaning in life, no? So then in the beginning when I said like, okay, this is it, this is my path, my friends, they're like, oh, once again, like Sara has found this, I'll give it 1 year. Or this is amazing having friends that know you, right? And that like always put you in your place. But in that moment, I told them, of course, time will tell, but something that like to me made me realize that this path was unlike any other path. And this is not to speak bad of other traditions, but like I have the consistency among teachers and practitioners in Tibetan Buddhism. I wouldn't say all the teachers are highly realized, because 100% never, but like I have found like the highest consistency of people that hold this presence, this selflessness, this devotion, all these characteristics. And I haven't found this high consistency in other teachers of other traditions. So other traditions, of course, they have realized teachers, but like in Tibetan Buddhism, it's actually like the high majority of the teachings and of the teachers. So that's what like made me realize that there was something especially unique about this path. And I believe that this is due to like this big emphasis on how the teachings need to be orally transmitted, and how like you can only teach something that you have realized, which is like such a different approach from what we hold in the West, right? Like that you can have a lot of knowledge but not necessarily live through it, or like so that was something that to me made Tibetan Buddhism like stood out among other ways of seeking meaning and happiness.
I've heard that you are going to teach when you go back to New York. So you will have your engineer life and teacher life. So how do you imagine it?
Well, teaching is too big of a word. But yes, I have again had like an opportunity that as with many things since I entered in this path, I didn't look for it, but it appeared. And I'm gonna be leading mindfulness meditation sessions in Rikers Island, which is like a high security prison jail in New York City. And I feel, of course, like a big sense of responsibility, but also I like being surrounded by these teachers, by these teachings. I feel that I have their blessings in a way, and that I will just do my best and
share what you have learned with all these teachers.
Yes, which it won't be in words, definitely, but like I know, and again, many times what we get more from people is not what they say, but like how they say it, or again, how they embody it. And I am miles or lives away from like getting closer to these teachers, but I can see in myself how even like in the span of this month here, and like generally in the span of all the time that I've been practicing, how I've become a little more patient, a little less angry, a little more generous from a genuine way. So I guess that's the only thing that I could genuinely share, which is like my presence and my improvement. Yeah.
Last question. You told me that everything is going easier, that many connections are done, or whatever appears, then you say, oh, it's an opportunity. How does it appear? How do you do with this?
Yes, so that's a very interesting thing that has been happening to me like since I joined the Dharma. And I say interesting because I'm an engineer, right? Like, so I was never prone to believe in synchronicities or the magic of life. Like, no. So like, I always try to find like a rational explanation for everything that happens. Or maybe not so anymore, but I guess that's my tendency. And something that I guess I still don't have a rational explanation, but like empirically I can attest that is true, is that before becoming a Buddhist, I think I said it, I was very ambitious professionally, so I had this mindset that I think many people in the West share of like, you have to fight for things, you have to make it happen, you have to push and get it and go there. And since joining the Dharma path, like I've been gradually like reducing, like I guess like that hold and that view of like how I need to push and fight for things, and instead trying to practice, as I said, patience, generosity, compassion, meditation. Not always trying to take decisions based on what's better for me, but like maybe what I think is better for others or will help me practice any of these qualities. And then, and what's now as I said, the empirically true, it's that like I've received in return much more than what I think I needed or deserved. And opportunities like this one, for example, like teaching in the prison, like have opened up, and there are things that I would have never like even imagined that were possible. And right now, I'm like very happy and excited to be pursuing. So yes, definitely, it's a path that opens up like new unthink of opportunities and as we were talking before, the only thing that I have to do is like be aware to spot them and ready to take them, ready to jump in. Like, and I think if one has this attitude, and in a way, last thing that I want to share in this regard is sometimes when I reflect about the different change of mindset, right? Like from trying to fight and get to now, of course, put everything from my side, but not fight it. It's just that this is so relaxing. I realized like how tired I was before when I was like trying to fight it all the time. You know, this is just so relaxing, so smooth. You know, and also it gives you like a general optimism and trust in that life will really provide you what you need if you're there to take it. So yeah, it has brought many benefits. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Sara, for
you so
sharing
much.
your story with us. Thanks a lot. And now we are going to drink our coffee.
Yes, yes.
That was